Hi guys and welcome. So you're joining me today on a bit of a chat on the Juke again, and it's basically what needles does it take, and I'm going to talk to you about threads. Now when you're actually, the model I've got first of all is DDL-8700. That is the model of my Juke. And the most important thing that when you are ordering needles for this particular machine is you need to make sure that it's got that information on the back of the needle container, okay? Because if you get this wrong, the top of the needle can be too thick and it's not going to fit in the top of here. So if you get that for my model, you know the needle is going to fit into your machine. Now it's pretty easy once you get your head round what fabric to sew what needles with. Now I've been using Schmidt ones and orange needles. Now, on the back of them, they have two sizings. Like you might get a size, a 60/8. 60 is the European number, 8 is the USA number. So we would go to the larger number. So you'd ask for a 60, 70, 75, 80, 90, etc, etc. Now, the smaller the number, so if you're going for a 60, 65, 70, you're going to be sewing silks, netting, very fine fabrics, your chiffons, anything that's very, very delicate, fine and thin. They are your needles that you will use for that type of fabric. And as you're going up in numbers, so when you start to get to an 80, you're starting to go into a tricot, thicker silks and thin canvases. A size 90/14, you've got your synthetic velvets, poplin, linen, your light wools, your jerseys and your muslin, etc. 100/16, then you're looking at sewing denim, heavy suiting, corduroy, etc. 110/18, then you're looking at your heavy denim, your leathers, your upholstery fabrics and your fork furs. 120 needle, you'd sew a super heavy fabric cord, heavy denim, heavy suiting, your heavy duty curtain fabrics. So once you get your head round that your smaller number needle is for your fine fabrics, and then your bigger needles is for your more heavy duty fabrics. Like for instance, if you were turning a pair of denim jeans up, on the front and back, you're going to turn it over, you've got 3 layers of fabric. But when you come to sewing over your join, where you've got two fabrics, because it's where it's been stitched at the seam, you've then got 6 layers of fabric. So you're going to need a size 100, 110 to sew over that. The thicker the needle, it's going to go through thicker fabric. Finer the needle, it's going to go through your delicate fabrics. Now, how often should you change your needle? According to certain people, they recommend you should change your needle every 6 to 8 hours. I don't go by that rule myself personally. What I will do is, I will check my needle, so I'll run my fingers down it, making sure that there's no faults with the tips, because sometimes if you do it sometimes it can cause the end of your needle to go like a tiny hook. So it curves your bit, but if I was to hit something straight away, I'd change my needle anyway. And I would feel at the end to see that it's still sharp and hasn't gone blunt, because it's like when you've got a blunt needle, that's where you're going to get your pulls from. And if I was doing an alteration on a bridal dress or bridesmaid dress, anything on really fine satin things, I would probably put a new needle in without doubt, especially if I'm doing it for somebody else, because I wouldn't want to risk pulling the fabric. But as a rule, I change mine unless I have any issues where I catch anything, but I don't sew over pins. The only time I've really broke it is when I have stitched thick fabric and I haven't had a big enough needle and I've sewn it with a smaller needle, and of course it's shattered and what have you. But I would go weeks and weeks sometimes without changing my needle. But I will just run my fingers down, the power's off obviously, make sure that it's straight as a die, there's nothing wrong, and that it just feels sharp on the end, and then I will just keep stitching with that until I've got any problems. These what I've bought, I've actually had these come this week, and the more you bought, the cheaper you got them. I think these these were about £2.99 with free postage, and I think I did buy them from 2 different suppliers because one of the suppliers didn't have a 65 needle. But I think I got all 4 sets for under £11 and it was free postage. Now with these organ ones, I bet I've had these a couple of years, and I bought these in bulk because I used to go to the shop in my little village and I used to pay about £5 for a pack of 10. And online there was 10 packs of 10 in here, and I think I got them for £27. So I was a few pounds in my pocket better off buying in bulk. And they are orange needles. My Juk will take any type of thread that I put on it, so I don't have an issue with threads. I can put this thick one and it will sew fine with that. I can put small ones on, it will sew fine with that. Gutermann, it will sew that, no problems. And then I've got all my 120 cottons and it will sew that, no problem. That's actually 120 spun polyester, that particular one. So I'm going to show you the threads that I use on my machine. So these are some of my larger cones, and I can lift that up and I've actually got cottons underneath it. These, again, they're all different colours, all different brands. I've got Gutermann in there. Is it Gutermann? Is that how you pronounce it? Gutermann? Yeah, I've got those, and I've got just so many more different cottons and threads, and my Juk will sew with all of these. I've got 2 tubs here, again, where I've got it. Basically it's just different colours, so if I'm doing an alteration for somebody, there's a good chance I'm going to have the colour for what I need to do the job. And then I've got these here, they're all the really strong threads that I've just showed you with that white one. I've got some more up here, and these I use for, it's like a silk, but I don't use these on my Juk, these are for my overlocker. And then I've got a couple more strong ones on top up there. So don't wickle too much about what thread to have with what needle. These, obviously, because it's that thick, you are going to have probably from a size 80 upwards that would take that. Because obviously the smaller the needle, you're going to have a smaller hole in it. But yeah, pretty much whatever I put on my Juk, it will sew with. So a lady was asking me where I got my meter bar for what's on my table. Now it only goes up to 32 inch this, but this is actually painted on top of the table, because that is one, this is all the table, and that is on the table. So, but what you could do is, if you've got a plain table, you could buy one of these thin metal meter rulers, and you could actually just glue that onto your table, because it's not very thick. So doing that, you're not going to put much of a lip on top if that is what you're wanting. So somebody was asking me about the foot pedal on the Juk, and you can see there it's a large flat pedal, and you just simply press it forward as you would a normal foot pedal on a normal machine, and bring your heels back when you want it to stop. And that is so simple to work. Okay, so that's the foot pedal for you. At the end of the video, I'm going to add on to the end the needles, and I will put the size in and what it recommends, what fabric to use with that particular needle. So like I said, once it's in there, it'll stay in. But if you've got any questions for me whatsoever, just leave them in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up, and don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. So take care everybody, thanks for joining me, and bye for now.